Welcome to Reflections. This program is featuring the Association for Benevolent Care Auxiliary of Canton Christian Home. Our first guest is Paul Weiner, founding administrator of Canton Christian Home.
Experience as well as history shows us that an auxiliary is one of the most helpful organizations that a retirement home can bring into existence. In 1973, which was 3 years before we opened the doors to the aging, we established the Associates. They were the predecessor of our home's present auxiliary. Our parent organization, the Association for Benevolent Care, was an important part, and we chose the word associates because it's connected with the association in terms of financial matters. We knew that both would eventually be involved in providing funds for the home. In those formative days, we sponsored, set up meetings in the tri-state area of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. The purpose was to select a key person who would spearhead an information program among our churches. They were the earliest forerunners of our development program, unpaid but very vital to the home. We communicated to the key person all the developments taking place, the design features, the architectural drawings, the application process, the table for construction of the building, as well as the building itself. And they in turn conducted meetings and shared this information. At that time, we were involved in a bonding program with our churches, which is a vital undertaking. Today, it is evident that the early leadership made an important and wise decision, and we commend the Board of Trustees for that. We commend the early pioneers also out there on the field who performed so well and so nobly in sharing information with our churches. On November the 8th, 1976, the home opened her doors. Shortly into 1977 then, the Associates evolved into a more structured organization which we named the Auxiliary. While it is primarily affiliated with the Canton Christian Home in its efforts, legally it is a part of the Association for Benevolent Care because federal and state laws require this. So the legal name for the association is Association for Benevolent Care Auxiliary, but in brief, we call it the Auxiliary. The organization has a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. There are still key persons, usually ladies. However, we let it be known that men are vital to the organization and could also occupy that position. We are still in the bonding process between the home and the church, whereby we share all kinds of information so that our churches are kept totally informed now as they were in the beginning. The leadership of both of our organizations recognize that we are not the church. We are just an arm of the church which provides the care the elderly people need in the final stretch of their lives. Has all of this been a success? The answer is a resounding yes. Since 1978, the Auxiliary has contributed over $150,000 toward all kinds of projects. They have enabled us to have things that ordinarily we would not be able to afford. As the founding administrator, I can look back with pride as we join hands together to create first the Associates and then the Auxiliary. Her history is a proud one. Her future is very bright.
We now join Robert Walther, current administrator of Canton Christian Home, as he expresses appreciation for the Auxiliary. He is standing in the exercise in service room, furnished by the Auxiliary.
Our ABC Auxiliary has been a tremendous asset to Canton Christian Home over the years. As mentioned earlier, more than $150,000 has been contributed as a result of their memberships and their fundraising efforts. This has been a real blessing to us, and it includes such things as this very exercise in-service room in which we stand right now, and you'll be seeing some of the equipment here a little bit later. This is such a help to our residents in preserving their physical strength. Our auxiliary has made very positive contributions to the home over the years, and we look forward to the good work of our auxiliary officers and leaders as they plan and carry out excellent projects for the future.
The officers, standing in front of the new accordion door separating the exercise in-service room, are May Sponseller, Eileen Ickes, Betty Miser, and Jane Rohr. You have met the founding administrator, the current administrator, and officers of the auxiliary. The auxiliary is involved with the home in several different ways. First, we want to recognize the volunteer services they perform. As we look into volunteer services, we meet Ann Blythe stocking the gift shop that is operated by the auxiliary. Ann, an auxiliary member, volunteers her time purchasing and making sure that the shelves are well stocked. We find still another volunteer making change for a resident. As we continue the volunteer services, we enter one of two main dining rooms in Canton Christian Home. On this particular day, we find Carol Stinchcomb, Activity Director, recognizing members of Emmanuel Christian Church, Massillon, Ohio, and Northside Christian Church, Wadsworth, Ohio, giving of their time to assist our staff in serving food to the residents.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to begin our announcements this afternoon with a nice warm welcome and appreciation to our volunteers from Northside Christian Church and Emmanuel Christian Church. Thank you as always.
These volunteers serve salads, coffee, bread, and take menu orders and return to the kitchen to bring out their choices. The staff at Canton Christian Home welcome volunteers at each meal of every day. Volunteers report to the main dining room at 10:30 a.m. and are ready to go home by 2:30 p.m. You may call the home and volunteer your services at 216-456-0004 as more volunteers are needed. Once a year, the auxiliary encourages churches to have an ice cream social. The churches in the Alliance area, Cornerstone, Marlboro, and Beechwood have been very instrumental in providing ice cream, toppings, and other refreshments for this yearly event. It is very much appreciated by the residents of the Canton Christian Home. Each spring, the auxiliary invites 12 different churches to bake birthday cakes and bring them to the home on a designated day. On that day, independent residents are grouped according to their birthday month. Members of the churches serve the cake to the residents. This volunteer event provides a fun time for residents and an enjoyable experience for the church members. Another special volunteer service provided by the auxiliary is to give each nursing care and assisted care resident a gift at Christmas time. Flo Villers and Frida Browse from Sherman Church of Christ, Norton, Ohio, have been two auxiliary members greatly involved in this project.
The activities director on the nursing floor makes a list of each patient of what they would like to have, whether it be a sweater or a piece of jewelry or maybe a box of stationery or maybe just a simple something like a book of stamps. And we try to get what each one has asked for.
The auxiliary provides the money and the volunteers buy the gifts and bring them back to the home. Jackie Trainer, our activities coordinator for nursing care and assisted care, receives these gifts and sees that they are delivered to the nursing and assisted care residents.
Christmas time here at the Canton Christian Home is a very busy time for our residents and staff. The gifts that the auxiliary provide for us here at the home add extra stimulation to the residents from outside churches and other organizations, and it provides interaction with the residents and staff.
During the first 6 months of every year, the auxiliary has their membership drive. Larry Burgett, the Director of Development and the liaison between the auxiliary and the home, explains the membership program.
Each January, we hold our annual membership drive for the auxiliary. Key persons in each church in the tri-state area are contacted about the membership drive. In order for individuals to join the membership, it is $3 per year per individual or $5 a year per family. When individual joins the auxiliary, a card, a green card like this, is completed. The card is then sent back to the Canton Christian Home with the check for the $3 or $5, and that money is given to the treasurer, which will then be used for the next project. Last year, we had over 2,000 members. We're again looking for 2,000 members to join the auxiliary. The key person at your church will be contacting you concerning the membership drive, which will be held from January through June.
Associated with the membership drive is a plaque or banner contest. Two winners of recent plaques were New Manchester Christian Church, New Manchester, West Virginia, and Connellsville Street Church of Christ, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. The auxiliary has two fundraising events in addition to the membership drive. An annual Arts and Crafts Festival is held each spring. Ann Blythe, a very active worker in the Arts and Crafts Festival, and Larry Burgett, Director of Development, share more information on the festival.
Well, we ask the churches in the tri-state area to donate homemade quality craft items, wood items, baby things, Afghans, quilts. We have a lot of craft things. It's great for a Girl Scout leader to come and get craft ideas. We have artificial flower arrangements, pillows, a great holiday area where we have mostly Christmas things, and wreaths and things like that.
You just heard Ann Blythe talk about the Auxiliaries Arts and Crafts Festival. Ann has been involved in it for many years. She and others are always a joy to work with in the annual Arts and Crafts Festival that's held in May. It's a two-day affair, and it goes on Thursday from 10 o'clock to 8:30 in the evening, and on Friday from 10 o'clock to 8:30 in the evening. There are many different booths held at the Canton Christian Home where the items, homemade and handcrafted, are brought in from individuals throughout the tri-state area. You will find Country Corner, Knitter's Drive, where there's knit goods, comforts, quilts, Garden Path, silk and hanging flowers, Toy Square, where there are toys, especially for children, Baby's Bin, Afghans and small blankets and clothes for babies. Sweet Place, of course, is always a popular place because there you can get pies and candies and cakes and apple dumplings and many other good edible food items. And then, of course, another item that's an excellent place that draws a lot of attention, people like to go there, would be the wood trail. Many wood items are made by different men who are skilled in this particular area. In May is a good time to buy your geraniums, and so we have Geranium Parkway. As well as, in addition to geraniums, you can also find the greenhouse where there are flowers that, such as violets and other things that can be put out in May and June. We always appreciate the many people that come to the annual Arts and Crafts Festival because the monies received at this festival is used for the different projects that you'll find around Canton Christian Home after the Boutique or Arts and Crafts Festival is held.
For the 2 evenings of the Arts and Crafts Festival, a tent is placed on the grounds for a chicken barbecue and gospel sing. The second major fundraising event is the Gala Auction. Auxiliary members Betty Meiser and Inez Gertenslager explain it for us.
Hi, I'm Inez Gertenslager, a member of the Auxiliary, and this is Betty Meiser, who's also a member of the Auxiliary.
This very attractive room was made possible by the tireless efforts of many dedicated auxiliary volunteers. We promoted our very first ever All-American Gala as a fundraising event in last September 1993. And over 300 items were donated by various merchants. And this was for our silent and our live auction. I'm happy to say that we raised $20,000 at our very first fundraising event at a gala. We accomplished this goal because the need was here, and we wanted to furnish this room, this in-service exercise room, which I described as a Triple E facility. It's efficient, it's elegant, and it's everlasting.
Jane Rohr, treasurer of the auxiliary, is always happy to give Larry Burgett, the liaison between the home and the auxiliary, a check for special projects. She is now presenting to Larry a check which is for the special projects and scholarship fund money.
It's good to have your support and your interest because you care about the people here and the staff that work here at Canton Christian Home. Thank you very much.
Past funds raised have been well spent. The auxiliary's first project was the purchasing of a van. The van was used from 1978 to 1988 when the 22-passenger bus was purchased.
The bus was purchased by the auxiliary in 1988. And since then, we have taken many trips. We do take trips 1 to 2 times a week, sometimes more come the holiday seasons. One of our main trips is banking and shopping, and that is done weekly. We take trips to the Palace Theater for special programs. We go to the high schools for certain musical programs. Restaurants are very popular. We make it out to Amish country, Wooster, Ohio. We've been also to museums, Walters Museums, and to Dresden, Ohio for the Longenberger baskets. So the residents really do enjoy the trips, and we're always on the go. And we truly appreciate what the auxiliary has done for us, purchasing this wonderful bus.
The bus that the auxiliary has purchased for us at the home has been a vital tool in meeting the daily needs of our residents. Everyone throughout the home uses the bus and benefits from it greatly, especially those that can use this wheelchair lift. Those residents that require wheelchair assistance can use this to go on shopping trips, outings to the mall, and special seasonal occasions that we take in other scheduled events.
The auxiliary provided the bus garage. Not only does it store the bus, but it also stores the tractor purchased by the auxiliary for the maintenance crew of the home. The tractor, mower, snowblade, and other equipment have been very much appreciated by personnel of the home. The awning that we find at the front entrance of our building was purchased by the auxiliary. It is very useful during bad weather when residents or guests are loading or unloading from a vehicle. Residents enjoy the sidewalks from one patio to another and the benches placed near the putting green. Residents also enjoy watching putters on the putting green. It too was furnished by the auxiliary. Located behind the benches is the chapel. A past project of the auxiliary was the placing of a cross on the chapel.
We at the Canton Christian Home Auxiliary have put a cross on the side of our building here that we might send out a message even to passerbys that we are a Christian home. We've also put down the sidewalk and the benches here that you see, that our people and residents here can come out here and visit with family, with friends, or amongst each other, that they can enjoy the beautiful scenery here at Canton Christian Home and also watch passerbys as they go by.
This is my favorite spot at the Canton Christian Home. The auxiliary purchased a putting green for the residents, and it's used quite a bit. They can come out and practice their putting anytime they want to, and they can come out on Mondays and Fridays and compete with each other. We have a hole-in-one club here, and the residents compete with each other, and if they get a hole-in-one, they chip from clear back by the building and have to chip it into the hole. Then they get their name put on this plaque, and we have 4 women's names on already.
Every department of Canton Christian Home has benefited from the generosity of the auxiliary. Through the auxiliary's fundraising efforts, money has been provided for the dietary department to purchase steamers, toasters, food processors, ice machines, stainless steel carts, and lorators. A special lowerator is used for tray-line food taken to nursing care residents.
Through the faithful efforts of the auxiliary, they are able to purchase us furniture and equipment to use for the residents. This is an over-the-bed table. It's on wheels. It can be used and positioned next to the resident so that they can put their personal items on it. It can be used for staff to put equipment on. This is a resident bed. It is adjustable. The head adjusts, the feet adjust, and the whole height of the bed adjusts for ease in caregiving and comfort for the residents. And this is a recliner chair. It is multi-positional. The resident can either sit or recline in this chair. It is on wheels, which makes it ease for the staff in taking the resident out of the room to the dining room.
One of the most important pieces of equipment is the bath lift. As you see, our tubs are elevated above the floor level. This lift starts out at floor level with the resident on. It's brought up to this height and is swung over across the tub, and then the resident is lowered into the tub of warm water. The tubs are elevated to facilitate ease of bathing residents. We also have a soiled linen hamper, also purchased by our auxiliary. This helps us contain linen and odor until we're able to transport it down to the laundry for cleaning. Communication is a key essential ingredient in the smooth operation of the nursing department. The auxiliary is very aware of that, and they have purchased for us an electric typewriter. Another item that they have purchased for us are these walkie-talkies, which help the nursing staff keep in constant communication with each other. Another item is the bulletin board, which you see we use quite heavily to communicate with the nursing staff. The auxiliary cares not only about our furniture needs and our equipment needs and the communication needs for the nursing office, but they also care about the beauty of the home. One way that they show that is that they have placed beautiful pictures like this one in the hallways, the dining rooms, and the offices of Canton Christian Home. It brings back memories for our residents of days gone by.
Housekeeping and laundry executive Peg Lang appreciates her department's equipment made possible due to the auxiliary's generosity.
The auxiliary purchased several porta-powers for us, which have been a tremendous help because they do the upholstery, they do baseboards, and they make it much easier on the housekeeping girls that have to do that. They've also purchased a work cart, as you can see, which carries their chemicals and everything that they need. It keeps it right at hand for them to take care of their work. They also purchased a Hoover sweeper, which has been wonderful. I don't know what we would do without that in our line of work, and I'd like to thank them very much because we really appreciate it. The auxiliary purchased this 35-pound Wascomat washer, and this has been great for us because we do our resident personal clothes in here, we do draperies throughout the building, and some other odd and end linen items. Now the good thing about this is it has a gentle cycle, a delicate cycle, which we don't have in our larger 85-pound washers. So this has been a tremendous help in laundry department. Auxiliary also purchased a 14-bushel laundry truck, and I would like to thank them. This has been a great help to us here in laundry department.
It was mentioned before, but now we see it in use. We are talking about the exercise in service room. Nancy Dressler, Assistant Director of Nursing, comments on use of the room.
We use the exercise room on a daily basis. The residents come down here at least once or twice a day. They do a variety of exercises, from using the parallel bars to the bicycle to the machine, the weight machine that has 4 different exercises. We also use the mat board, This room is also used by the physical therapist and other therapies when they visit within the facility. The employees use this room anytime that they're free from work to come in here. They exercise according to their own programs, do some weightlifting, and really have found that coming to work before to exercise or exercising after work has brought them some enjoyment plus health benefits. I would like to say one final word about the exercise in the in-service rooms. We would really like to thank the auxiliary and all their hard work and their donations, because these rooms have been a great benefit to both the staff and the residents at Canton Christian.
Further information on the seminar in-service room is shared by Larry Burgett.
This room is used by our residents, it's used by the employees, it's used by training other individuals that we would like to train here and work on our staff in our nursing department. This room has been provided by the auxiliary. The auxiliary provided $20,000 to put carpet on the floor, to put drapes on the windows, to buy these tables, to buy the chairs, to buy the physical exercise equipment that you see back there, to build the storage areas around the furnace there, and to just make this room a very comfortable room in which we can hold the retirement and financial seminars and other in-service trainings.
One of the fine ABC projects has been this front projection television set, which will give an image of up to 150-inch diagonal on the screen in our chapel or in another area of the home where residents can view movies, television programs, travel logs, those things which can help to entertain and inform them, and it's been a real asset to us. This projection television set and the video player and the cart have all been gifts of the auxiliary.
It has been a pleasure to make this video for public viewing. The officers of the auxiliary and staff of the home invite you to become involved with them as they continue their efforts for Canton Christian Home.
We hope this video has provided you with an excellent insight into the fine work that our auxiliary does here at Canton Christian Home. They're already planning many of the activities for the next year, including the Arts and Crafts Festival, which will take place in May, and the membership drive, which begins very, very soon. If you're not already a member of the auxiliary, we hope you'll consider the possibility of enlisting. You may call Canton Christian Home at 456-0004 or write to us at Canton Christian Home, 2550 Cleveland Avenue Northwest, Canton, Ohio, 44709. We'll be glad to hear from you.